Hello everybody, this is Mr. O, and today I'm going to talk about pencils. What are good pencils to buy? Let me make this clear. If it makes a mark on your paper, it's a good pencil. There are just some that are better than others. What you probably have seen in my videos, me talk about, is the Dixon Ticonderoga. And it's very comparable to a lot of the top brands, their HB pencil, because as we talked about the numbers, I have a video that talks about what the numbers and the letters mean. And I would recommend that you watch that if you haven't had a chance. And I'm going to tell you the Ticonderoga pencil is a great one to draw with. Like I said, it's very on par with a lot of the other big brands. And I got this from Mark Crilly. He's another YouTuber who I would suggest that you check out. He uses a Prismacolor black with his Ticonderoga because, as you know, with the Ticonderoga, there's no other like levels. There's no 2Bs, 4Bs. So what he uses is a Prismacolor to do his pencil sketching. And I'm going to just talk about what makes a quality pencil. I'm sure some of you have probably gone to the dollar store or an inexpensive store and bought what you can afford. And sometimes what you can afford is, could be 47 cents and you get a 3-pack of these pencils that are, even the lead seems very plastic-like. And so graphite does come in worse and better quality. Now, in general, you go from the Ticonderoga, the graphite doesn't really change very much. It becomes how the pencil itself is made. And I will explain what makes a quality pencil and what doesn't. Especially like you can see the core of the Prismacolor color pencil. Why people have become negative about Prismacolor and why they break all the time, not just because they can shatter on the inside when you drop your pencil on the floor a million times, it breaks the graphite or the lead inside. But what the problem becomes, you see how centered this is, and it's actually just slightly off-centered. The better the pencil, the more centered it is. When something's off-centered, when you sharpen, it will start to break when it gets to those off-centered spots because you're actually sharpening at an angle. Sometimes in your sharpener, let me grab one, you can sharpen just a little bit at an angle and see if that's any better. And I will talk about maybe a pencil sharpener. If you do have problems with breakage, this Prismacolor, notice that these are both the same size. But there's one wider and one more narrow. You see that this is not long and out, this is more narrow. So this is how I would sharpen a pencil that would constantly break. The other thing I wouldn't do if it was constantly breaking is go to a point. Usually that's when it pulls out. So what I would do is I use the sandpaper that comes in most sketch, and I would sharpen to the tip with that versus sharpening with the hand sharpener all the way to the tip. So little bonus knowledge there. So let me just kind of show you the quality, and what I'm going to do is just kind of use these papers. I'm on a drafting board. I still need to figure out how to keep things from sliding. I do have my pencil catch, and we'll just go with this first circle. I'm reusing some of the stuff that I have, and as you can see with this HB, I'm going to tell you, it goes on smooth, and if I press, I can get a little harder. And even when I can take a paper stylus, a smudging stick for some, I call it a paper stylus. You should carry one of these. If you're into art, just carry one. You will love, look at this. And this is just off the basic HB. And if you can do this with any pencil, it's a quality pencil. So that's a real indicator at what level you're dealing with the graphite. Now, whether it sharpens well and the wood's good, that's a different story. But I will also do the color pencil next to it so you can see why Mark Crilly would use this to help, like when he does his sketches You go from the pencil to the black color pencil. It makes a great contrast. So when you put detailing, he's not smudging as much as what you may or may not want to do. But it's if you have a quality wax pencil, and that's what Prismacolors are, they don't have to be Crayola. It could be a black Crayola. It does kind of make a neat effect. And I will kind of demonstrate that too. I want to show, I'm not going to talk much about the mechanical pencils. If you're curious about mine, I bought the Pentec, which it's a nice heavy balance pencil. And this is what I use to draw comic book pages. When I do Bristol board and do comic book pages, notice that it's smooth, but it's a little bit more digging into the paper when it comes to pressure, because I like that weight where I can make nice and fine line. Now, I do have a other gravity feed, and I might mispronounce this, Elita, which is a darker. I could do smudging with this, but usually with my mechanical pencils, I don't do smudging. And you see how that kind of goes on? And I also have a few off brands that I think are quality, made in the US right here. GPC, I probably should have looked that up. Maybe that's a general. And this is a 2H, but nice and smooth. Here is a design by Stanford. And this is a, what is this? A 2B. And those are the two sizes or the two values I'm going to mostly be talking about is HB and 2B. As you can see, the 2B is pretty nice, but I will say this about the Stanford. It doesn't feel as smooth as some of the others, even some of the generics. So keep that in mind, and that's a personal opinion. Now, the Ticonderoga, in my opinion, is much like this pencil made in Germany. And I pronounce it Statler, and I might be completely wrong about that. But the Ticonderoga and this brand, I just feel are very smooth. The reason I have quite a few of this brand, when I was younger, I went to a flea market, and I was able to get like 6 dozen of HBs, H's, and F's. And they were just dirt cheap. I think $2 a box is what I paid for a dozen of them. And it was just some guy, I think he must have been a graphic designer. I wish I talked to him. And let me, like, if you ever go to a garage sale or some sale, if it's made in Germany, the UK, even the US, or Holland, I just buy it and find out about it later. These were freebies that came with drawing books many years ago, and I'm on my last pack and a half. I really like them. These are the ones I usually travel with. I throw them in versus a full 10 because they were 4 packs. And they're easy. I don't mind if I lose them because they didn't cost me anything, but I do like them, and that's why I do take them with me. And then speaking of garage sale finds, I found these very old. These were made before I was born, so it was probably in the 60s. And a nice F pencil, which is very light, less pressure, and I can get a nice little line. Don't worry, I'll be moving to other squares or circles in this case, but the rest I'm going to do in squares. Buy what you can, and like I said, if it's made in the UK, Germany, or Holland, I buy automatically. If it's made in the United States, I buy them. When it's made in China, then it's like you go to what's the quality. And because, there's a lot of things that come out of China that has fine qualities, and there's other things that do not. I'm going to start off with a generic. And what I'm going to do is, these are for my markers. So I'm just going to use part of them. I'm going to just split it. I'm going to use an HB. And I'm not going to blend it in. I just want you to see whether it's smooth or not. Let me move that over here. And I could hear you guys say, we can't see it off to the edge. I'll work my way through. And this, I think it's called Worrisome. and it is a little worrisome. I find that these pencils are a little darker. Here's the 2B. They're a little darker than what I would normally go for, and the graphite doesn't seem as smooth. When I do this, and I'm not putting a lot of pressure, I'm just letting the pencil guide me. I don't feel like it's as smooth. Do I think the quality is okay? Yes. The reason I bought them is they have a 14B, and I wanted to try out the 14B. I've never even seen that, so I haven't tried that yet, so I'll have to tell you about that. Now I'm going to go up a dramatic level. I was lucky, and as you can see, these are made in Japan. These are Tombow, and I'm probably mispronouncing that. I'm 100% sure that's a Japanese word. Please correct me. I do love these monos, these Tombow monos, and they are smooth. And this is the HB first, and you can compare it to that first HB I did. And here's the 2B. Now, why am I going to a 2B instead of something much darker? 2Bs is that first level when you're doing that loose sketching and you want something soft and easy to erase, easy to smudge. As you can see, the 2B here, notice how much darker that is. I felt like those worrisomes were almost like a level up. They don't make a 3B, but if I needed something in between 2B and 4B and to help a little blending, I might just use those worrisome. Now, notice the back, how smooth. I'm going to be bringing out many pencils. These feel phenomenal. The lacquer on the pencil, the way the pencil balance, and the way when you look straight down, you can't see the back. But I can tell you from my other sets that I've used, I have no problem with breakage. And I'm just going to go through. Here's Derwent, and this is made in Britain. Usually, sometimes it says the UK. And to be honest with you, I should have went through and softened the tips of all these pencils. That way, they're all on the playing field. I never sharpen my pencil to a pointy point unless I am doing some details on the face. But by far, these, when I tested them in the other video, I have found them to be the smoothest. The other thing you might want to notice is where I'm keeping my hands. When I do like light sketching or want to be a little gentle, I hold my pencil higher than I would when I'm drawing and getting very detail oriented. And like I said, most times when I do details, I use those Pentek. And what I should have told you about the Pentek, I'll do go back to this. Instead of buying a set that comes in a box, which was $65, I was able to buy them loose and actually got an extra number 4 size pencil because they come in different sizes. I keep them all HB because it's just user friendly, because I can go light with it and I can get much darker with it. And for like doing a comic book or anime pages, I find it very useful. The other pencils that that are new to me are these Prismacolor Turquoise. They are not color turquoise. Most people get confused by that. But I'm going to tell you, they feel good as into drawing with them. They don't feel good in my hand. They just seem a little lighter, and I have a little more trouble dealing with them. I don't feel like the weight is as balanced, but look at the lead. It is smooth. And I can see why people were very happy in the beginning with them. As I told you, if you can handle an occasional bad pencil, the quality with Prismacolor is really there. And just take a look at that. So, I'm going to tell you, if you can get yourself a set of DeWert, that's pretty much where you're going to be very, very happy with. The Prismacolors and the Tombos, they're fantastic too. And the only reason I have so many quality pencils is because anytime there's a sale, I just buy the set. I wasn't buying the brand. And it just turns out I've gotten a lot of the best brands. Now, I do want to show you Generals. We see Generals all the time. What makes Generals funny is everyone surpasses it, thinking it's just like the cheapest brand, not the quality. This is what you see in high school because you can buy class packs. These are the semi-hex, and you can look at the back and take a look at the centering. They're actually pretty good on centering. And the quality is actually pretty soft. I find them a little tiny rougher than the Tombow and DeWert, but they work just great, and they sell them cheap enough at a lot of stores, at least here in America, that you can get a quality set. You just might not have a quality case or a quality package to keep them in. So you might have to invest in some sort of nice pencil box. Guys, that is pretty much what I can tell you. Number one thing is, if it makes a mark, it's quality. It's good. Well, I should say it's good enough. You should never think you have to have the best. When it comes to smudging, as we saw here, any pencil that you can take and you can just round off with a stylus, take a look at that. And I'll do that over here too. You will find that's a quality pencil. Now this is the first set. This is the generic. Now notice that it's not as easy to smudge when it was the HB. Now I should have wrote down all the names. I gotta remember off the bat, but these were the Tombow here, and see how nice and smooth that becomes. And that's a quality pencil. If all you could have is a black color pencil and a Ticonderoga, you are doing much better than I was at your age. And if you're 20-something-year-old feeling like you should have a full set, you know, just wait till the holidays. Just get yourself a, you know, the 6-pack, 12-pack of Ticonderoga. You can buy one black color pencil at a time or a couple. Like I said, and you can have that value. I also did a value video. If you haven't checked that out, you can check that out. Guys, this is the most important thing, and I need a nice pencil for this, a nice dark pencil. And I just broke that. Are amazing. Don't forget it, guys. I will do something with the erasers too. I've been asked about that, and I'm working through my list, so keep them coming, keep the requests coming. Guys, see you next video. Be well.